session and hopefully continue to talk about some of the story aspects that are unfolding for us. So, leaving shelter. Okay, so one thing I learned is that Emeril is apparently pretty valuable. So again, I'm metagaming without compunction or regret. I'm interested in the story, and I'm specifically interested in the self-building story, finding a story world by deducing from what is given to you in the game, taking everything at face value and running with it. To make my path a bit easier, at times I will metagame, which is when you use information from outside the game to make your life easier in the game. And it seems like a contradiction that I'll do both of those, but in the end I'm just trying to have fun. So anyway, whatever. I learned that Emeril is pretty valuable for trading early on, so I probably will have to go back to that cave. Want to go back to that cave. At least once or twice more. The other thing I want to do is take a photo of it to commemorate it, because that's how I am. And then I'll take a look and see. We'll start there. We'll go from there. I think, it might be nice to scout ahead at least a little further towards the grave site, see if we can find another waypoint. Might be good to actually upload the waypoint I've discovered and talk a little bit about naming in game. Anyway, let's do a little pack movement. Move my plutonium deeper in the pack. Actually, first I should see, if we need to recharge anything. We don't yet. Mining beam. I think we just recharged before all of this. Pulse engine. Still need, and my third goal should be finding Thamium 9. And actually, I'm also told that upgrading my long-term sensors is a really good idea. Aha! That's what plutonium is for. Let's make sure to charge up. That was dumb. I used more than I had to. I gotta remember that. Oh no, I didn't. Good. That's nice of them to not overuse and instantly deplete. So I need Thamium 9, and I am also told I need to look into upgrading my scanner. Where is the upgrade? I'm confused. Oh. Boltcaster, combat. I'm not even sure that I want that yet. Until I need it, I am actually not going to mess with it. Range boost. I think that's what I need in terms of my scanner. I've got the blueprint. I need Thamium 9. I can't even find it for my ship. So that bumps Thamium 9 higher on the list. I've got to find Thamium 9. I still have not looked up. So in other ways, I won't metagame. I have not looked up. Oh, that's a laser going up in the sky. Signal scanner, bypass chip. Could be really nice. I wonder what I need to make a bypass chip. I'm sure I need a pattern for it. Aha! Sorry, a little loud there. Well. This is new to me, these menus, so bear with me. Interesting. That's weird, I don't get this. Alright, anyway. One thing I was reading was that keeping baubles is far less important than keeping minerals in terms of their resale value. You can also tend to find things later, so if you're not using it, you don't necessarily need it. Makes me want to get rid of my iron and my zinc. Although, well, I'm going to hold on to the zinc. Tell you what, for now I'm just going to get rid of these gra-gras. So, discard. keep my precious fascination bead. In fact, I'm going to move it up. I think it's cool. And I think there's something, you know, well, so it's tied to the story world. Because, why is that? Because it affects electronic life forms. One thing I am trying to deduce from the clues in the game is whether or not we, the character, the main character, we, no man, are or are not an electronic life form. So eventually, the extent to which I can use that will help me answer that question. And that's a lore-related question. Okay. It's funny, you know, as you can tell, I'm speaking as a player, I'd say 2/3 of the time, but I'm also using that perspective to address questions that come from being a character. Now, I'm going to take one more look in the cubby that I kind of rushed through that was abandoned. Whoops. To see whether this has anything to it. I don't think it does. I think I did everything with it that I could. Had one recipe or blueprint, and that's it. All right, so I really don't need to be in here. But I have my home sweet home over here. I've also decided that getting in the ship is so disorienting. I mean, it takes you up and you're on the move instantly, that I'm going to be a little more careful with it and only use it when I have to. Where's my ship? Okay. No, where's my ship? It's a little strange. Oh, it's right there. Whew. Okay. All right. I want to go back to the mining site. I'm going to grab a little more emerald, and I'm going to try and take a photo of it. So I need to get back there. I'm getting a hang of soft landings, which is nice. Apparently these things can attack you if you're not careful. But not if they've been reduced to carbon isotopes. There we go. All right. Nominally, all I really want to do here is take a photo. Now, I had also wanted to go mine some emerald, but we were just mining, and I don't want to go back to that yet. I also don't recall how close that was. So for now, I'll just get a good photo that shows there's the cave there. Oh yeah, I have my visor, which I don't use as much as I... Whoops! Oh, that's too bad. I actually didn't want that. Visor. Visor. Arg. Not... There we go. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, so there's my zoom. Still taking a while to get used to. There's a good shot. Now, how do I take a screenshot? I'm going to experiment with... There I am. Hello. Thank you. Save screenshot. Okay, that'll do for now. As long as I have it, I'm happy. Oh, I think it paused in the audio. I basically went out to take a screenshot and I'm done. So, I'm going to leave this alone for now, and I'm not going to hunt for emerald. I am going to find Thaumium 9. Hello! Alright. While we're on the run, let's think a bit about lore so far. What have we deduced? We've deduced a few things. We've deduced that we are extremely dependent upon our technology to an extent that we do not yet quite know. Wait a minute, let's see if I can grab anything here. Ah! That is what I need. All right. All right, I need more of those. Surely, they're all over the place here. I should look around here a little bit more. Let me check something out here. Nope. All right. We are very dependent on our technology. Look at the cactus. I really love the plant life as well, by the way. And I'm sure I'll talk about that more later. So we're dependent on our technology, maybe even interdependent with it, to a degree that we do not yet know. I myself deduce us to be nearly symbiotic with it. That is my feeling. I may be wrong. I hope we find out more, because I mean, I think that's key to the plot. That's one thing that we know. We are, and our process of living, I saw a ship take off in the distance. Process of living is deeply tied to it as well. I mean, if we don't collect the materials we need, we can't survive. We don't need food. We need elements. Our equipment is so deeply tied into us that it is completely, if we ever ate, it has now completely bypassed our digestive system, you know, if we ever had one. If we are an organic creature, we don't know. What else do we know? We know that our gear and the blueprints we tend to find are specifically outfitted for survival. We know that we are meant in that sense. So, okay, we are highly dependent on our technology, and the technology available to us is geared toward survival. So, the implication is that our natural role, our inherent role, is one requires that level of maintenance, care and feeding, you know. And obviously we spend a lot of time on the care and feeding of our systems. But it, you know, given that it's a part of who we are, that makes sense. Let me move this. So, I'm beginning to deduce that we are something like a like if I had to guess, I would say we might be some kind of an archaeologist. You know, we're certainly natural explorers in the sense that we are equipped for it. I mean, here are some roles I could see us being designed for, meant for. Archaeologist, scout, cartographer, salvage crew, surveyors. Now, the fact that we're outfitted for extreme environments is notable. Wow, hello. I will delve into the animals once I've got a handle on the fundamental materials in my life. You know, well, okay, I'm going to back up a second. Try and actually finish thoughts, right? So, and I lost my thought. Okay, we're equipped for extreme environments, which means in a way that we're kind of like, we're all-terrain in that sense. We're meant to go off the grid, off the map, off the road. And there's got to be a functional reason for that based on who we are. Presumably our connection to Atlas is very strong. That's certainly how we felt initially, and how we continue to feel, you know, based on the things we're encountering. So we're meant to explore, we're meant to go into extreme environments, and there must be a reason why. And obviously we as players get to determine what that reason is. We as a character, are deducing our role in the world. Maybe we're just miners, right? That we're sure doing a lot of mining. That's an interesting idea. Wouldn't it be something if, you know, I almost fell down a hole. Well, and I was, yeah, I still love caves. You just have to treat them with immense respect. I love how extensive they are. They really are everywhere. I'm headed this way because I believe that's aluminium, as they say. So wouldn't it be funny if we were really just miners, in the sense that we are designed to, you know, extract materials from difficult places? But I don't think that's all of it. I really don't. I think there is a deeper story. We are built to explore, and I mean, that's as far as I've gotten so far. So, all right. You know, we haven't even run into any truly lore-related material. Yep, that would be aluminum. Truly lore-related material yet, and until I get a move on, I don't imagine we will. But if I continually digest what we do know, then as we run into things we don't, they will make more sense in relation to what we do. I don't know how much aluminum I need. So far, none. It'd be nice to fill up one. Boy, it takes a while, doesn't it? I think it's not worth it. I'm going to start with that. Got a goal. Let's see how I'm doing with that goal, actually. Namium 9. Halfway there. It's pretty desolate here. One thing I'm realizing, I was initially, you know, pretty excited. Well, I've seen worse. You know, we could be, the weather isn't kicking our butts, the animals aren't kicking our butts, and because we're being relatively modest with our mining, the sentinels aren't kicking our butts either. So all of that is good, and still, you know, plenty of cause to not feel like we need to immediately, you know, split. That is just, I mean, it's just a, you know, this is a sinkhole, and, you know, for all we know, it leads on to other stuff. Right now, well, tell you what, whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Right now, you know, we're just foraging. And, why can I not? I guess I must have already depleted this one. Wow. You know, there's something meditative about simply wandering in this way. And I think as we become more capable as we become more fully equipped, we can turn a bit more of our mind towards the more interesting aspects of it. But it's also worth remembering that part of the value of meditative activity is that you're always working on things in the background. Even if you don't know the answer to something now, as long as you can formulate the question, the subconscious continues to chip away at it while you do other things. And the gathering, as much as it is in need of balance, is definitely a way to do that. I have a feeling this particular entry is going to be somewhat long and quite a bit of me just wandering around trying to get my Thermium 9. Now I could try to fly to a different spot, but honestly I don't think it's worth it. I mean, I'm finding all the materials I need here, just not in massive amounts. So I'm having to range a bit to get what I need. Alright. Here's the deal. Iron... Wait. Oh, ship inventory. Am I close enough? Yes, I am. No, that's the starship. Okay. So, iron. Let's try it. Good. Zinc. Have not needed it yet. Good. Aluminum. Not going to worry about that yet, but let's move the platinum. And quickly, of course, I will fill the capacity in my ship. Oh, there's something there. All right. Let's make sure we know where we are, because we're going to... Not too far. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. And I've got plenty of... Hello, Sentinel. How are you today? They're pretty used to me, and I've become pretty used to them. I'm okay with that. I think pretty happy with our relationship. Certainly, you know, much better. Okay, let's talk about them for a minute. You know, I have to start from a bit of a metagame perspective, but I've thought about them a bit, and I've hinted at a bit of what I've thought in the prior videos. Everyone is really annoyed by them. Speaking as a player, I have seen that everyone is really annoyed with them, and the main way to articulate the frustration is, here is a game based on mining and exploring, and they come after me when I mine and explore. Well, yes and no. It seems to me they come after you when you grind. Now, what is grinding? Grinding is a term found in massive multiplayer games in which you focus on a needed resource and you sort of hunker down and mine for that resource and mine for that resource and mine for that resource in huge chunks so that you can gather a stockpile of it, and so that you don't have to mine for it in bits and pieces. Makes perfect sense. Titanium. I'm gathering all this stuff and I don't need it, and it's going to come back to bite me because I don't need it yet. I'm going to be throwing a bunch of it out. It's alright. Aha! This, I do believe, is something I need later. Alright. I really need to be able to sell this stuff. Think. I need my... Still have not gotten used to my... There we go. Okay, another couple of pods. I'm at a decision point here. Well, the good news is, we don't know what that is. It's just over the bend. We do know what that is. And it at least would give us another waypoint. And we need this. And we're staying in a pretty good line towards our objective, which is our grave. Just for fun. I think this is a pretty valuable resource, and I believe that may be the same thing, but I can't tell. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back there. I'm not going to lose this because I know where it is in relation to our sort of axis of, maybe I can map. I'm trying to, there's a thing that I've seen people do where they can back off from a flag and they fly up into the sky and can see a bit of the area. It looks a lot like an area map, except that you can't access it at just any time. What I'm going to do is fly over to that next point. So this world is being relatively kind to us. It's not some place we'll want to stay forever. You know, we have a fondness for it as the place where we've started, and really that's, you know, like, I mean, that's like the fondness of a person who has just survived a snowstorm by entering a cave. Now, is this, so, you know, aha, wow, okay, we will want to gather both of those, if at all possible. We're still in a phase story-wise. So what I'm going to fly over to the next waypoint, and I'm determined that I'm going to learn how to navigate well enough to do so. And you can only do that by trying. We're doing a lot of mining. I'm not ready to say that it means that sort of all we are in the lore is synthetic miners. I think our curiosity leads us towards the unknown, and I mean, maybe that's just necessary for mining as well, but that's the big question. Okay, so let's put it this way. We, the character, while we are deducing, so far we are deducing our dependence upon technology, the fact that a deep dependence, interdependence, we are interdependent with our technology. That technology is designed for extreme exploration, and we're using that extreme exploration to mine materials. So far, we are mining those materials so that we can repair our ship. The ship allows us to travel. By traveling on, we travel towards what? In game, we do not, I believe yet, have a sense of what. Metagaming, I know as a player that one goal is getting to the center of the galaxy, and the Atlas path is headed in that direction. But for now, you know, we begin to suspect that we are, I'll attempt to fly at the same time as talking and see how it goes. And if I fail, next time around, I'll just sit and monologue like I should have this time. Is this right? Come on, what's up? Hold R2. Oh. Aha. Okay. Wait. Focus. Steering is difficult. God. Ah! Yeah, can't do both at once yet. Definitely don't need to accelerate. Okay, here's where we're headed. And I completely forgot what I was going to say. It's all right. The Funali Badlands. All right. What I don't know is whether this guy's aggressive. Aha! And they're here to see how I do and what I do with the Funali Badlands. It's all right. That's their job. What I think I was going to say back there is, I'm beginning to suspect things about myself. We are beginning to suspect things about ourselves, we the character. We know we're a bit of a badass. We know we're capable. We know we're equipped. we're equipped, we're augmented, and we're equipped with the curiosity needed to solve problems. And curiosity is one of the things needed to solve problems. I'm going to go ahead and hit this waypoint first. We might begin to suspect, cynically, that the only reason for that equipment is, oh, I hope it's just that canister. That the main reason for that is that we're a miner, but we're holding out hope that we have a greater destiny than that. I really wish this scanner told me something about that guy, and I don't know what I'm not doing. And I could look it up, but eventually I'll probably have to figure it out while I'm fighting for my life. So that's super. I had initially saved my waypoint, the name of the last waypoint. For now, I'm not going to save this one, at least in my own external database. Oh, but it does have the purple flag. That makes me feel differently. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my external database. Funali Badlands. Okay, Funali Badlands. Submit. Saved. Now, I really want to understand how to do this zooming thing that they do. Now, maybe I'm, that's one of the hazards of press L3 to do a local scan. Nope, I've done that. Nope, I got nothing. All right, my ship is here. I'm gonna transfer things to it. First thing I need to do, see if there's any help in these. If they are locked, and I have to break in, and I will have to make some decisions. They shouldn't be, because, hey, they've got my flag, right? Man, that guy is scary looking. I really wish I knew whether or not he's aggressive. Luckily, he's just hanging out there, which is nice. Oh, good. And a similar situation. This pod, just like the last one, is disheveled. Now, I'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, let's talk about it now. We have just reached another spot. We have reached it to discover that this spot is we, the character, have reached this spot to discover that it's very similar to the other spot, the first spot we discovered. Right down to not only the design of its stations, but even the fact that the right one, at least, is in a disheveled state, and quite probably the left one would feel like home sweet home if we didn't already have a home sweet home a few clicks yonder. So we begin to think, and again, this is part of what I call deductive world building, using only the elements there in the story, whether they derive from poor game quality, poor game design, or let's just say limited, because clearly there's a lot of variety in the physical terrain. There's not as much variety, and metagaming, as a player, I know this from watching the videos, there's not as much variety in the architecture of other species. But this is the information we get as a player interfacing with our character. Our character thinks something strange is going on here. What are the odds in an infinite universe of infinite variety that these two pods would be so identical as to even be identical in terms of which one was disheveled and which one we presume is not? But that's just kind of a whisper in our ghost, to use a phrase. For now, we're going to roll with it and see what we get and go from there. Plasma launcher, explosive disruption grenades. Okay, things are coming together. Now, land disruption technology and excavation tool. Launch plasma shells, explode on impact. Charged with isotope elements. Careless use. I love, by the way, the warning. It's like the fine print. Charged with isotopes elements. They can be like circled in a bright yellow border with, fine type. Careless use can result in disrupted alien ecosystems and damage to user. Now, okay, so we are the user. Our equipment, which is an extension of ourselves by design, from the best of what we can tell as characters, have just referred to disrupted alien ecosystems. That makes me think of the what I was calling the Guardians, what we were calling the Guardians as characters, and what I as a metagamer know are called the Sentinels out there, and the affinity I feel towards them so far as a character, not having incurred their wrath, monitoring the environment. Disrupted alien ecosystems is a phrase used here. So my guess would be that whatever designed my gear, and quite probably a lot of me, us, the character, also designed them, the Sentinels, or what we're calling the Guardians as a character. Tell you what, I'm going to call them Sentinels because that's getting confusing and probably really annoying to anyone but me. The Sentinels. We can gather Heridium. But I also know from experience that we can use these, not from experience, from watching, metagamer, watching videos, that we can use these to burrow our way out of caves so that there would be a way to cheat the situation we found ourselves in. But I'm glad that we got lost in a cave before we had this option, because we got the experience. So anyway, we're going to keep this. We're going to be mining some Heridium because now we have a reason. And I think that'll be cool. Open inventory. So in an empty slot, oh, aha! Mining beam is strengthened to speed up terrain destruction. Operates automatically once within the user's multi-tool inventory. We've got the material. We've got lots of it. Titanium we gathered. That's interesting. Okay, luckily, I don't remember where that titanium was. So okay, in my log I need to put some of the ingredients that are becoming important, like titanium and what's another one here that we'll need? Platinum. And every one of those that we find as being more important, the less important something like iron becomes, or even zinc. Oh, there's iron. We need iron. I'll be darned. But we need that for our boltcaster, which is a combat weapon. Tell you what, let's go ahead and build it, because I could care less about iron. We have plenty of plutonium. But I could also care less about having a boltcaster, because I'm not interested in combat. Now, eventually combat will come to us. I, the player, am not interested in combat. We, the character, are bound to meet it in a dark alley. So, let's build it. Oh, and that used a slot. Right. Honestly, if I had remembered that, I might not have done it. This, luckily we can't use yet. By the time well, because I don't think this thing has a launcher. And I'm not, I'm not as worried about having it for now. By the time we do, we'll have plenty of Heridium. So let's go ahead and build the beam intensifier, because that's immediately useful. And, oh, gosh darn it. Range boost. Scanner's detection range is increased. We need this more so. Well, see? I feel like now I've made an error by not thinking something through. Why is that? Because the boltcaster isn't important to me as a player. Combat is not interesting to me in any way as a player. It will, of course, be important to the character. I don't know when, but I've used up a slot on it with very few. See, the limitations of the slots points to, in essence, each of the things we fill those slots with is a character decision. I chose to install that boltcaster over the scanner, and it's the last time. If I had it to do over, and I could actually revert to my save, and I'm damn well tempted to do so, just to prove my point. So okay, so let me do it, and I'm going to do it in character, in the sense of deductive storytelling. Here's what I'm going to say to myself. Wait a minute. We're here in this world. We've just learned, stupidly, not paying attention, that we only have a few slots, and we have armed ourselves to bear. Now there's a phrase, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. There's another one that has to do with a knife, the purpose of a knife. I think this is actually in a Borges story about a knife fight, where the knife itself, the moment the character picks it up, it's as if the knives themselves were the ones fighting through those two people, and all they needed was for someone to pick them up, for their ancient vendetta to play itself out again. By equipping myself with a boltcaster, I have brought nearer the moment when I will have to use it, at the expense of moments when I might mine with my beam weapon, and use my range boost to look further, which is something from a metagame perspective I've been told, I've been made to understand I need to get equipped as soon as I can. So we as a character now say to ourselves, we just screwed up. We made a decision we didn't mean to make. And we have a technical means in the story world of backing up before this decision. Luckily, in this case, and this is probably like the only sort of free out we get, we tell ourselves, this is our get out of jail free card. Next time, we'll never make that mistake again. We'll never again equip something that's not a crucial part of the thing we are trying to become. Because to do so pushes further away in time moments when we might be something else if we had made a different decision. And that's what these limited slots force us to do. They still need to be calibrated, they're still annoying, but that's what I think right now about that scarcity, and that's why I am going to, if I check my options, figure out how to do it, reload current. Is that right? 1036, reload previous. I think that's right. I'm going to gamble and run with it. That should be the moment, like 5 minutes ago, right after we found ourselves at, where is it? Come on. At the Funali Badlands. Let's see if it's true. The character, this is the first time we are, now, this is a disconnect. This is a panel that I as a player look at and see, oh, saved game data. But we as a character confronted a device, and our analytics scanner told us that device said save. I saved my life there. And we're going to approach this as a character and say, we're making a character decision. We're going to go back in time, reconstitute ourselves through a means that we do not yet understand, but that we might suspect has something to do with probability, with quantum reality waves, with time, anything having to do with rolling back time and reconstituting the elements that make up who we are in a different prior configuration that allows us to take a different path into the future. So, here we go. Whoops. We should be going back in time. Oh, that's almost like a reboot screen. I like to think that we as a character suddenly see this, and it's as if this eye is there before us, and we simply contemplate it. And it's the first time we've seen it. Are we thinking, is this the end? Am I gone forever? Is there anything else? We may never know. But it was the decision we had to make. Yes. And there we are. We have just gone back in time. Now, there should be ways to test this. Test whether or not You know, if I were to mine something after saving myself, presumably I would go back to it and find it not mined. I'm sure that's true. We don't need to worry about that right now. Wait a minute. I think that probably needs a multi-pass. Yeah, the bug dude is still there. Crab man. Okay. Now, deja vu. So we begin to think about, we begin to contemplate, and we got the same thing. It wasn't randomly pulled by the crate, the loot crate as it were. So we did go back. So this thing is firm in its place. It didn't give us something unexpected. I would be really confused if it did. I as a player would be really confused. This time we're going to make a different decision. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're absolutely going to get this. And then we're absolutely going to grab that. And then we'll go from there. Actually, my sense of symmetry is a little offended. I'd like to move this guy over here so that my two scanners can be underneath each other. But I'll settle for putting... Yes, I know. I'll settle for putting this one there. Maybe... Yeah, it took up an extra slot. That's how it works. Gosh. Character decisions, though. To me now, that makes sense, you know? And from a balance perspective, from a gaming perspective, obviously it's not what we would prefer, but it makes sense to me that I'm making decisions about my character by the precious number of things I install. Let's use up carbon. I don't know why I keep using up carbon again since I have all this plutonium, but really not going to worry about it. Okay. Now it's time to check out the other Yep. Is the layout identical? I think it may be. The layout is... No, it's not. This chair is different. Alright, well... That's crazy. Pretty sure that's the only difference. But there could be other different... I'm like... But that's weird because I'm like, alright. It's not precisely the same. There are slight quantum variations in this instance of this pattern of energy and matter. Of course, we've got this, which we can deplete precisely once in this quantum timeline. I think I'm going to start using that. We're going to start using that, whether you like it or not, just to try on the idea and play with it, that something about what's going on here has to do with probability and time, choosing, reconfiguring different realities out of the base material that we have to work with. Okay. Now, yep, we need that bypass chip. Let me check again what... Oh, you know what? I think I couldn't use a bypass chip if I wanted, because I think they go into my multi-tool. Soon, quite soon. No, good. They would go into my ship, but I still don't see it. And I guess maybe that means because I don't have a pattern. What's confusing to me about that is that it shows up there create. Let me try something. Oh! All right. Okay, so here's what just happened. I hit X, not square. Oh. We do need iron. All right. So now we start to come to decisions about that. Do I have enough iron? How much have I put in my ship? There's my ship. It's nice that I can check both. I haven't been saving much iron. All right. I am making decisions. Here's the deal. I've done everything I need to do That is fascinating. I also wonder if, we also wonder, whatever, if bypass chips are used up. Well, let's read the description for a moment. Single use, there you go. Gosh, read the manual. A single-use device that can be used to gain access to encrypted terminals and facilities, commonly used to hijack landing pad facilities at alien outposts, perhaps illegal. Now, alien outposts. I wonder if this is how you do the zoom out thing. I'm going to make one to have it on hand. If these locations are alien outposts, then that implies that we are not the same as them. Or we are the alien. Or, you know, and one might say, or I'm overthinking it. But again, through deductive world building, this is the process I go through. Everything I've got, what does it take to make it internally consistent, and what world does that suggest to me? So anyway, we don't know who's built these outposts. We were just speculating that Atlas built them. Certainly the patterns, you know, they're technological. They helped save our lives. They're made of this extreme tech that is built for survival, but we don't know much more about them. If this chip allows us to hijack one of these arrays, that implies that these are alien outposts. Now, it also says hijack landing pad facilities. I don't see a landing pad here, so maybe these are not, you know, alien. I don't know what to call these. These aren't outposts. I mean, way stations probably is the very best thing to call them. But we have two terminals for which we would need a bypass chip. I'm going to make at least one. Super. And that's my cue. Good old carbon. Nothing beats carbon. Does, you know, well, I don't know if anyone but me will ever hear these again. And for me, you know, they may just be a way to think through my process. If anyone does, would I be, you know, I'm just curious if this way of, this sort of deductive world building makes sense. Or if I'm just crazy. Who knows? Probably just crazy. Anyway, the last thing, I'm going to take a look at these other two items, but I don't... Oh, a Carite sheet. I don't think I've been told this yet, but I believe I'm going to need one of these for my warp drive. Honestly, I feel a long ways away from that now, right now. So I'm not going to worry about it. Microdensity fabric. Let's see though, let's read the description. A lightweight metal product heavily used in ship part manufacture, also used in the construction of planet-side outposts and facilities of all known primary species. All known. Known by who? So there's this thing you can do where you essentially question and query the information that you're given. You can do this with not even talking about video games now. You can do this with role-playing game supplements, with background materials of any kind, like behind-the-scenes books for movies that are favorite movies of yours, anything that inspires and sparks the imagination. If you have a phrase that says something like, all known primary species, I instantly read that and think, known by who? Known by whoever it is that wrote this, you know, created this material. We believe this material is meant for us. It's almost like it's part of a manifest destiny of who we are to use these advanced technologies as if they're extensions of ourselves. Presumably, Atlas is the known by who, known primary species. Atlas is not one of them. Okay. Anyway, let's go on and read this here. So that's just a strategy I'll be using here and there, this questioning of material. And I find that to be part of the deductive world building process that we're using here. All right, multi-purpose conductive material, extremely versatile and used throughout the galaxy in exosuit, multi-tool, and starship technologies. Both of those look super useful for my ship, but right now, that old rust bucket is doing all right, and these slots are valuable, and I'm still trying to get my, what is it? Why can I not remember Thamium 9? I just can't, no matter how hard I try. It's crazy. All right, ship is good. That's not the beacon I'm going to use this chip on. I'm kind of trying to go methodically, so I'm going to go back to Home Sweet Home and try it from there. I would mine along the way. Now, I have saved. Now, what I'm going to do, actually, is save again, because I'm pretty happy with where this is at. These sentinels are not messing with me, because I'm not messing with any of this stuff. I probably should mess with something so they know that I'm not, just here for the fun of it or whatever. Plus, I should always be mining a little bit. Oh, well, there's this stuff. Let's grab that. Come on. Ah, yes, something to get rid of or sell. Power canister, okay. Interesting. Are the lights on? Yes, they are. I'm leaving the lights on any place that I have explored. They seem always to be on when I get there, so... Alright. How we doing? Look around for our dude. Our beam does seem stronger. Absolutely. Great. Getting the hang of this. Okay, that's 3. And we're good. I'm down with that. That is so interesting. As a player, I'm well aware that combat is second nature, first nature for gaming, for games. Certainly for first-person games. This might be like the first-person game not rooted in it, right? But there's another way to approach those sentinels, and since they are so unsatisfying from a combat perspective, you might think maybe we should treat them a little differently. Every time I do it, I look around. Alright. Let's go back. Oh yeah, nope, that's not it. Aha, it's checking me out. And we're good. Mutual respect. Okay. Hold down R2, I believe. No. There we go. Dang it, I'm disoriented. Come on, where am I? Shoot, is that it? Uh-oh. Oh, well, that's somewhere I want to go, but not at the expense of getting lost. Where am I? This is where I was. Oh dear, I really hope... Alright, I need to not get lost. I am going to land. You know what I need to try to do? Well, I can't always guess what direction I'm gonna go. Pretty positive this is where I just left. Come on. I know this part's a little bit... this part's a little frustrating for me too. I just don't like getting disoriented because I'm trying to be methodical. Yep. Okay. I'm not gonna save again. No. Those guys scan me, and that's worth you know, that's a change in attitude. It's worth saving. So, waypoint signal received. A signal. Okay. Restore point saved. Waypoint signal. A signal. A signal is made of information, right? So, probability is a form of information. The probability that something happens, the reality that it did, all of this is information. There we go. That's it. That's my shelter. That's home base. And over there is, I believe, finally a trading, I hope, a trading kiosk. I'm going to land one more time here. Probably should do that now. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. What I was going to do here, you know, I guess one thing I could do, I don't think I'm any closer, but let's check. Nope, 46%, Thamium 9. That's funny. I guess maybe I used some? My launch thruster. Oh, I need to be able to take off. The pulse engine, you know what? The pulse engine is for boosts. And I'm not in a hurry with it. By the time I need boosts, much less getting off the planet, I will have plenty of Thamium 9 just by wandering around and picking those little bulbs. So that's, again, it's, you know, priorities. So I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine as far as my pace goes. All right, I'm going to charge. We're good. The other thing I was going to do was, you know, I should mine a little bit here so that this guy is aware of me here as well. And I always need, what is that there? Is that iron? Let's go find out. Let's get some. Why is it not telling me? Ah, titanium. Right. Right. Titanium. You can be guaranteed they're going to come check me out. Here we go. One of these days, they're going to decide to take me. But, you know, and for now, I'm sticking to the ground rule of only taking 2 things at a time. Aha! I'll bet. All right. I can get a little of that, but I'm full on zinc just in case, and zinc is in. Now that's weird. How can that be? How can it? It's not full. Oh, the starship. I see. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my iron. Let's move this to the starship. Let's move this to the starship. And now, okay. Last thing I'm going to do here. And this has been a slow session, but I think we've talked about some interesting possibilities, and it's given us a chance to explore a few ideas. Probably the most important one being the idea of turning back, that these beacons allow us to turn back time, which reminds me, every time I reach one, I should make a quantum save. That's what I will call it. Save. Say restore point saved. Okay, it's all right. And so the idea of limited slots as a character decision. And there was something else, but well, no. I mean, that's the most important thing, I think. Anyway, it's been a long one. A little bit work a day. That's okay. That's what a lot of these would be like. And I'm just learning as I go, just like anyone. I'm like, not being a gamer, I'm no expert at anything. I'm no expert at learning games, certainly. Certainly not an expert at prioritizing what to do next in games. I do love exploring, and I do love thinking through story. This idea of deductive storytelling or deductive world building, to me, that's how I'm going to enjoy this game. I think we've figured out some things so far. We've got some mysteries. The mystery of who built these camps. Are they for me, or are they for someone or something else? We haven't seen anything else. I know metagaming, as a gamer, or I mean, from watching videos, that there are other things. Speak of the devil, right? But we haven't met any in world yet. I think we're about to, because after I use this bypass chip on this beacon. We're going to go to what hopefully will be an outpost a little ways away. Maybe before we do that we should mine this stuff, but honestly, let me check what it's needed for. I believe... wait. No, don't worry about this yet. I think it was something... I know we needed it. I don't remember for what. And we're almost full anyway, so the next one will be a sales trip. Well, I'll mine just a little bit of that stuff. I think it's hyperbarium or something like that. I'll find out in a moment. But here I go. I'm going to try out bypass chip. What's this thing called? Signal scanner. It's called a signal scanner. I'm putting this in my little database. Okay. Let's try it out. Oh, okay. Search for nearby points of interest. Oh! This is how you get the mini-map thing, but you have to use a bypass chip to do it. Signal scanner online. Planetary location beacons are responding. So these, presumably, yes, these are beacons at these different locations all around the world, this planet. Shelter marker detection wavelength, online. Local transmission station call sign, online. Colonial outpost call sign, online. Alien antiquity marker detection, online. Please select preferred destination. Wow. All right, here's the deal. Colonial outpost, I believe, is the thing that we glimpsed a little ways away. We've got shelter. What's local transmission station? I don't know what that is at all, but I'm curious about this idea of a monolith. I'm curious as I'm excited about it as a player, and we're curious as a character. So I'm going to ultimately do that one. Transmission seems like something that's outward looking. If I'm not even ready to fix my booster rocket, much less fly off the planet, I'm not worried about that yet. Shelter, we've got 2. Okay. And the environment seems to be pretty kind, even if the terrain itself is pretty desolate. So, monolith is the one. All right, let's give it a try. And then presumably those will be embedded in our map, I hope, because I'm not going to go right to a place. I'm going to save and go to a different place first. I guess I'll find out. If not, because so I've got to say I've just saved my quantum signature, my quantum self, my quantum signal prior to making this choice. I'm going to make this choice, and then I'm going to fly. We're going to fly over to the colonial outpost, which is hopefully what it is nearby, recheck our map. If those monoliths have disappeared, I will pause, and when we come back, we're going to come back here and back up time. If they are still there, we'll go ahead and enjoy checking out the colonial outpost. Since we know where the outposts are, the monoliths are more important. One thing at a time, though. All right, here we go. Searching for ancient alien artifacts. Ancient alien artifacts. Okay, now we found one. Now either that will be persistent on our map once we move, or it will disappear. Okay. I'm hoping it's persistent, you know? So it's interesting, you can use those a little bit at a time. You could come back and use it again for a different wayfinding function, a different beacon function. That's pretty cool. Presumably all the stuff I'm talking about, or a lot of the, you know, gameplay stuff I'm talking about, will be second nature for me very soon, at which point I wouldn't articulate it because it will, you know, I won't have to worry about it, but by articulating it now gives me a chance of remembering it later. I'm going to grab just a little of this stuff. You know, I'd like to come up with a kind of a methodology for mining these pillars in terms of what structures I'm wanting to leave behind. Right now I'm going to start with this idea that I'm basically going to make kind of gates out of them, or doorways. Now I'm mining quite a bit of this. Seeing if I have any buddies around. They seem to have taken off for a while. I wish they would show up on my map, you know? Alright, that's it for now. That's good. I like this arrangement. And, if I remember correctly, a really cool thing I can do, if I get myself up on a rise, to show you what I mean, is when I scan it, I can see how deep it goes. Oh, that's interesting. There's a bunch underground, but it's a deposit that's actually disconnected, so I don't have to worry about it. Some of them go deep underground. It's pretty neat. All right. Finally, now, what are we doing? We are flying to what we hope is an outpost, making sure the monolith is still on the map, and if so, saving. There we are. There she is. Pretty positive that's the one we saw. So I've obviously only explored a very small area. I can get to and from everything I've seen so far. Oh, my grave's still a ways away. And I didn't land because I'm pointing out that I can get to shelter over here. Oh, there's some mystery over there. There's one shelter. There's the monolith still. There's another shelter. Over here is my starting point. I believe it's right there. And over here is where we're headed now. I really hope it's an outpost. We're going to find out. So I'm going to... Oh, there's a couple of them. All right. Well, there's a bunch of stuff here. There really is a lot of stuff. And something that will eventually become a little frustrating to people, from a metagame perspective, is, you know, every planet is littered with stuff. So what makes one planet different from another? But for my purposes right now, that works fine, except that I just got lost. Great. Ah, crap. All right, it's okay. Turn around. Pretty sure. Where's my shelter? Ah, I really don't like being disoriented. Alright, I'm going to wayfind my way again. Back to where I started. I apologize for this. Again, not interesting to anyone but me. Damn it. Where? Ah! Yep, I am... Is that it? Thank you! God! There's my handy... There's Home Sweet Home, complete, I believe, with the hole, I hope. Or is it? Uh-oh. I'm sure it's shelter because I saved, right? Oh, man. Surely this is it. I apologize for getting so hung up on this. Like, it doesn't matter, right? But to me it does, so... We're gonna land. I'm 90% sure this is Home Sweet Home. Home base, whatever. Ah! Seriously. Doesn't matter, right? Is that it? Is there the hole in my ding? Yes, okay. God. Once again. Yeah, definitely no one's ever going to watch these but me because this kind of OCD playing is useless to everyone else. Whatever. Anyway. Okay, where are you? Over here, I believe, right? Not gonna go too far. And where am I? There it is. That's the one. Okay. Ah, it's land. Thank you. Jesus. Bayalo Flats. All right. There's the monolith. All right. I'm going to save. And whenever it is we start up again, we're going to head up in there and probably do a bit of trading. We'll see how it goes, right? Maybe it's locked and I won't be able to do anything like that. Anyway, whatever. Here we go. Thank you. See you next time.